Okay, dear students of degree, I welcome you to the guest lecture series of Technovanza 2016. Technovanza is one of the largest techno management events in Asia with a theme of this year of transforming India. We feel extremely grateful to have you be a part of this. As a co-founder and CEO of tremendously successful Truecaller, your story is an inspiration to millions of aspiring software developers. Our audience is eager to learn more about you, the man who owns the planet's 2 billion phone numbers. So, people, get ready to experience none other than Mr. Alan Mamedi sir.
Right. Hi,
Right,
Alan.
hi, glad to be here.
So, in order for me to actually hear what is being said over the mic, it would be very helpful if you could just put the mic a bit further away from your mouth because it sounds incredibly. Um, but let me start by, just giving a short introduction about myself, and let me know if you don't hear me because I believe the line is a bit uh, poor right now. But I'm honored to be here. I'm glad to see so many students. I'm one of those who actually praise students to go to school. Um, I'm 31 years old. I'm born and raised in Sweden. My family moved to Sweden in '84, so I was born in '84. My background is computer science, so I studied at the university here in Stockholm, Sweden. I studied network engineering, so I'm basically a network engineer with security as kind of a direction. So I focused a lot on Linux and Windows environments. So that's kind of my core, or was rather, till I realized that crawling on the floor and pulling cables wasn't really the thing I wanted to do when I grew up. So I decided to shift from network engineering to actually coding and programming. Um, I got my first computer when I was 10 years old, so that's kind of where my journey started to learn more about technology. My mother bought me an IBM PS2, a 386 processor back in the days. So that was really fun playing with Windows and deleting folders so that the computer would never boot up again. But you break and you learn things. I met my co-founder when I was 18 here at the university. So we always had this great idea to start a company together someday, but we didn't call it company. We rather called it this environment where we love to have fun. And looking at other companies, we were thinking like whatever they do that we don't like, we want to do the opposites and have basically fun in the office and work with the things that we think might be helpful to people that might change their daily life. So after the university, we both started to work in different companies as developers, and we both received a lot of phone calls from different parts of the world within our jobs, and we kind of realized that the one communication channel that everyone uses, which is phone calls, is missing a very important part, and that is the identity part. If you send an email to someone, the person will get your email address and they will be able to figure out who you are based on the domain name and so forth. I mean, when humans designed the internet back in the days, they said, hey, let's not go with IP addresses because people won't be able to remember them. Let's come up with something called DNS. So, you type google.com and you get to the Google's IP address. That never happened to phone numbers and phone communication. And we wanted to fix that. We wanted to create a trusted identity across phone communication. And it was a very simple idea, just giving you more information about those you communicate with. And since then, I mean, the company obviously we've had a lot of luck and hit some great growth metrics around the world. But it's also been a lot of ups and downs during this journey, which I think is important for everyone to know. It's very easy to look at the company and say, hey, yes, they just started and they are super successful. But the fact is, we've been doing this for the last 6 years. We also had this philosophy that if we build something that people love, and if we solve a problem that people have, then everything should be great. And we never try to be, sometimes we did try, but we never tried to be someone we weren't. Meaning everyone was trying to become big in the US or become big in Western, in Europe. We said we want to grow and we want to put our focus where the consumers are, where the need is. And India was one of those markets that really took off early on in 2012 and 11. And I think it was also because we wanted to make Truecaller available for everyone. And back then, people were still using Symbian phones in many parts of the world, especially in India. And all the other developers and companies wanted to focus on Android and iPhone. And we said, we want to focus on every platform. We want to be everywhere. And that kind of sparked the whole, I would call it the viral growth, when we were available on every platform. And eventually when people moved from Symbian to Android, the first app they downloaded was Truecaller, because it made their communication safer and more efficient. So we always went where we think the consumers are. Now you can imagine a few years ago trying to be the next big company by focusing on India, Middle East, Africa. No one wanted to invest in a company like that. And obviously today it's the total difference, the total opposite. Everyone wants to invest or bet on the next company that goes big in especially in India, where the potential is. So you know, I think we definitely, looking back, we definitely did the right thing by listening to our users and wanted to solve the problem where the need was organically, and not spend a bunch of money trying to grow in a market where it just takes time. And I think in the end, every great product can only become successful if you solve a problem and if you have organic growth, meaning that users download your app because someone told them to get it. Your friend told you. And I'm sure, you know, I spent many hours in India meeting our teams, but also a lot of users. Every time I fly down to India, I go to people's homes and talk to users. And it's always the same thing. When I ask them, how did you hear about Truecaller? Yeah, a friend told me that, call me and I will show you something magical. And that's how it started. So, you know, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Right now, we're doing really well. I think also one of the key learnings for us has been, we've always had this as a culture in this company, that whatever we do should always be for the best of the users. Meaning that in order to gain trust, you must be honest and you must do what you feel is comfortable. So everything we do in this company, we should be able to stand in front of a camera and say, yes, we do this. And if we can't do that, then we shouldn't do it. And I think that philosophy is really important for anything you build, to be honest. And you know, during a journey like this, and probably every single successful journey, during these ups and downs, you will have, you know, there will be a lot of frictions, people not believing you, but you have to take this friction. And you who are engineers, you understand that energy doesn't disappear, it actually converts, right? So the friction, you have to convert it into positive energy that just drives you forward. And I think back in the days when we studied at the university, this was 2003 to 2006, we felt very stressed that we missed the train. We said that the web era is almost over, and we missed it because we were in school. But that's not really true. I don't think you will miss out on anything. I think it's important to finish your degree and make sure you learn how to work hard in school. Then you will learn how to work hard in you know, in life too. And the next train will come, and who knows, maybe you will be one of those who actually build the next platform. If it's not mobile right now, maybe it will be, or it's mobile now, but maybe in the future it will be something else. So there will always be a next train. That's for sure. I guess that's sort of my short intro about our journey so far, and it's been a tremendous journey. We're a team of 80 people right now, majority being here in Stockholm, Sweden. We have a team of 10 people in Delhi, and we have a small team in San Francisco, and yeah, that's the company basically. We're trying to be global and be where our customers are too. You're saying something?
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time. The talk was very encouraging. So we have some questions from the students.
So
So can you repeat that?
say
We
that again.
have some questions from the students. So can you hear me?
Just try to make it
Yeah. So we have some questions from the students.
okay.
Yeah. Please raise your hand.
Hi.
Okay, I'll start. Hello. So can you hear me?
Kind of.
Yeah. So yesterday you tweeted that Apple, please don't buy McLaren. So could you please elaborate?
Yeah, that's a funny one. You know, I think McLaren is one of those very few companies with an incredible history where they've invested into cars, great sports car building technology. Those cars have the most advanced technology on this planet, and I think for any company, they should never lose focus on that. They should focus on the things that they're passionate about. And I'm worried that if Apple loses that focus, then they will become a different type of technology. So that was my thought. And I don't want an Apple car. I want a McLaren car to exist on this planet.
Thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
Hey,
So you said you wanted to build something for the society that will help them throughout their daily life and which will they love, right? So how did the idea of Truecaller get into your mind or your co-founder's mind?
so it was basically we had this need to respond. You know, we were receiving a lot of phone calls and from different clients and customers from around the world, and just the frustration of not knowing who to call and how to answer this call someone like me. I would like the might be in a meeting. Sometimes those calls they find their best answers. So that's the problem we just wanted to solve.
That's very convincing, sir. Hello, sir. I would like to ask how the Truecaller basically works. What is the algorithm behind the whole function?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
How the Truecaller basically works?
How the app works?
Yeah.
So the real infrastructure is that if you have a small community of people that use your service and contribute to your system, then our job will be to make sense of that data. So we want to ensure that we make your communication safe and efficient through through identity. So when a call comes in from you, for instance, because
because
it is,
yes,
and this information can
information
come
can
from
come
thousands of different
from different
sources
sources.
where users can
Users can
access it in different ways. Our job is to make
make
sure
sure
that we
that
understand the data
um,
and we give the accurate information. Did that answer your
that's your
question?
question.
Yes, thanks a lot. Hello, sir. So my question was, so since the app does not have any ads, how does it generate revenue?
We do have ads. So we actually monetize on advertising.
Sir, any other way to any other revenue model or
Right now, it's only ads. So it's more to do with targeting users in a unique way. So let's say Uber calls you to tell you that the driver is outside. Then that's a great opportunity for Ola to actually to target you when the call comes in, seeing that they're calling you and to say, hey, if you ride with Ola next time, you will get 10% off. So that's how we monetize in the application. And there are no other monetization legs right
Makes
now.
right now,
What we
what's
do
in
in the
the
future
future?
is to have it make sense
Sense,
because I
because
think
I think what you're asking is
only
only
sell your
sell your
data.
data.
The answer is
The
no.
answer is no.
There is always
There's always
some
some
risks.
risks
The
with
privacy phase is the most important
different
thing
thing
that
that
is
is
suited.
suited.
So whatever we want to make sure that it actually benefits you. So even if it's an ad, if we believe that it benefits you and you can get 10% off using Ola, then it's relevant. Then let's do it.
hello?
Yep.
So we have a question of here right now.
Hmm.
Arun is asking here in movies, where do we see you come to the next?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have two
yeah,
posts
it's
planned
one
for
thing
next
that's
month.
good. This happened. I want to do that. I think it's
If we lose it, we win. That's how I look
that's
at it.
how
Hello? So Parinsha is asking how secure is it to share our information with Truecaller?
Look, everything in Truecaller, and this is
I'm
for the
just for
same
the same
basis.
basis.
Everything is
Everything is
permission.
permission.
So, for
So
instance,
for
if
instance, if you were to get my phone number to your phone,
by
by
default,
default,
it's
it's
always
always
set
set
permission
on permission is never ID
to anyone.
to anyone.
And
And
if
if
you're
you were
using
to do
of
of
course,
course, if you have
that's
that's
where
where
you
you
have
have
to
to
know.
reverse.
But when
But
it comes
when
to
it comes to user information, everything is on permission based. So you can try it out. Just search
search for
for me
me
in
in
TrueColor and
TrueColor,
you will
and
find
you
me
will
and you
have
will
to
have to
ask
ask
me
me
for my
for my
information,
information.
and I will get a
And I will get a
notification
notification for the
that
message.
hey, this
This
person
person wants to get in touch with you. We want to
allow it or not.
allow it or not.
That's basically
That's
how it
basically how
works.
it works.
Hello, sir. So first of all, congratulations for your super successful app. I just wanted to know how did you market your app? How did it spread all over the world?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
And
I think there is
there's
obviously
several
various
reasons to what
benefits.
that
We did a lot of things hacking things to make sure that we ask
we ask
users
you
at
to
the right
the right
moments
moment
to tell their friends or share
or
with
share
them about Truecaller and the
your
Truecaller
super
experience.
experience.
A simple example could be
After you have
identified
the
5 calls for you,
for you,
we ask you, do you think this
you
service
can
is great?
just
Tell your friends about it. But to be honest, I think the most important thing is listen to your users,
just
listen to the small details, improve your service, and make sure
make
your
sure
users
your
feel
users
that they're
feel that
being
they're
served.
being
When that happens, the good
happens,
times
good
start.
habits.
Now, if you look at, for example, Google simple question. Right now, our ranking is
is
26 in India. We've always been top 10 for the
and
past 4 years.
was
Now, since
since
July this year,
you
they launched
launched
15 other apps,
apps,
which you are
which you
free to download to
to
follow with
play
your
with
team.
the team,
We dropped in our ranking to
in
26,
2026.
but our new users that we're getting in VJTI is actually higher than it was 2 weeks
Weeks
before G
before
launched.
Geo launched.
That means that our
Means that our
product is
product is
being,
being
we're not growing because of
because
our
of
acquisition. We're growing because
because
people
people
are
are
telling us to use it.
everyone's to that.
And that is, I think,
Is
the
I think is the
strongest growth.
strongest kind of organic growth.
And it comes from
It comes
people
from
loving
people
their
loving their
service.
service.
So, there's a
There's a lot
of small things you
small
can
things you
do
can do
to
to
create
create
viral growth.
a viral growth.
But in the end, you
In
have
the
to
end, you
do
have
it
to do
yourself.
it yourself.
Thank you, sir.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Hello. When you had the idea of making this company, what did you have in mind, and did it actually turn out exactly like you had envisioned it when you started it?
It's a good question.
Once a year, when you click on the video,
If you look at the
look at the
presentations
presentations and the materials that we created
back in the
back in the
days,
days. And I
sometimes
sometimes
laugh
laugh at
things we have
things that
written
we want the company to be.
But in 90% of the
Some of the
cases,
cases
we've
we
actually
actually
fulfilled
fulfilled
what
what we
we
were
were
hoping to
hoping to
do
do 5 years
5
ago.
years ago.
And
And we
we
were
were
still
still
beginning
beginning
to
to
do
do
it, we
things
were
that we
working
were
on things that
thinking
we
about.
were thinking about.
So I
I
think the
think
things that the
it's
company is where we
in
in terms of the
terms of the
product.
product.
Now,
Do
do
you
we
think
think
that
that
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
be
be
a
a company
company
of
of
80
80
people?
people?
Probably not.
Probably not.
We just
Just
are
just
working
all
all
day,
day, all
all
night.
night.
But
But
yes,
it was
want to grow to
when you
250 million
when
users
you just
worldwide, then you have to have better people, better coders than we used to have.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Uh, Actually, I have two questions for you. The first one being that you just said that you had an idea that when we were going for even the identity who's calling us. So this is pure logic. And turning this pure logic into such a big company, such a big startup. So you would have had failures.
Sorry, you're very low.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning.
Could you try again?
You have you are the CEO of this company. You are the brainchild of this company. You made this company. So you have had failures in this. So how do you deal with them?
Um, I don't know if I really got the question. Did you say? Could you try to repeat it, please?
How do you face failures?
How do I face failures?
Yes.
I embrace them. I think it's part of the game. I think you must study it. Otherwise, you won't learn.
Yeah, but when one fails, one has two mindsets. I mean, one either goes into a spiral of low confidence or one tries to overcome it. So how do you exactly make up your mind to do something big?
I
Well,
think
I think
it's
it's
about
about
embracing
embracing
new
new
things
things
all
all
the
the
time.
time.
I mean, you
When
learn
you're
this
learning this
independently.
independently,
So you have to
you have to
realize
realize
when
when
something doesn't
something
work,
doesn't work.
and you
And
only
you
do
only do
that
that
if
if
you
you really
really fail
fail.
and understand
Understand
where it's
that it's
failing and how to
failure.
fix it. So you need to
You need to
define very
define very
clear
well key
KPIs to
KPIs
figure
to
out
figure
if
out if
something is going
something
to
is
work
going
or
to
not.
work or not.
And
And
even if it
even if
fails,
it
you
fails,
probably
you
learn a
probably
lot
learn a lot
by
by
following the
doing the
data.
data.
I don't know if that
Did
answers
that
your
answer your
question.
question? I hope so.
It answers it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Sir, what types of apps are you developing in your future? What is your future plan? So what
Can you
types
repeat
of
that?
so what types of apps are you trying to develop in your future? Or what is your future plan?
So we
We
have
have three different apps.
Truecaller,
Truecaller,
Dialer, and True
and True
Messenger.
Messenger.
TrueDialer is
Truecaller is basically an app
that powers the
powers the Truecaller APIs
to make your
to make
calls
your calls with your income.
Now, earlier this year,
So we merged Truecaller into one app.
so now TrueCaller is
It's
utility
utility
to
to
your incoming
create
calls,
calls,
make
make
it more
it more
efficient,
efficient.
but also your outgoing calls.
Outgoing, if
If you
you
start using
using
TrueCaller for
Truecaller for
buying
buying
out,
out, you'll see that your call history is
that
much better.
you
You
will
will
see
see
the
the availability
availability
of
of
phone
phone numbers.
numbers and so forth.
Do we have plans to
To
build
build
new
new
apps?
apps,
No, we
there we
don't.
go.
But
But
we
we
do
have
have
uh,
plans to, of
of
course,
course,
improve
improving
we'll
the
focus
focus
a lot
on
on we're releasing a few
a few
services
services
this
this
year
year
at
at
the
the
same
same
time
time
and
and safety.
so this is
It's
more
more
targeted
targeted to
to
improve.
because
This is
we
where
see
we
that
see
a
that a
lot of
lot of
people
people
don't
don't
use
use
is
this
how
how
we
we
can
can
improve
improve
women's
women's
safety
safety
through our
through
app.
an app. So
So
that's
that's what
something
we're
we're
working
working
on.
on.
One other product we released is development tool. So
So
it's
it's
basically
basically
SDK
SDK
for
for
developers
developers
to add
adding
into
into
their
their
apps
apps
to make
to make
CSI
CSI
much
much
easier.
easier.
So instead
So
of
instead of
developers
developers
taking
taking
the
the
cost
cost
of
of doing
doing
the maintenance
maintenance
verification,
you can use
you
our
can use your
SDK and
SDK
let
and
it do
let
it
it
for you.
read for you.
So you should
So
try it
you
out.
can try that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. You hear me?
Barely.
Uh, this question is exclusively about your app. Uh, there are some blacklisted numbers which come from the telephone companies for promotional schemes or something. They are free blacklisted as they appear in the on the top of the screen when the call is in process. So, how does the app decide the blacklisted number? Is it when a lot of people report that this is a blacklisted number, or as a general, what is the process of identifying this?
Good question.
Good question.
So what we
So
do
what we
about
do
this
about
is
this,
we,
we
of
of
course,
course
run
security
cybersecurity
reports
reports
to our users. How many
we
people
also
report
get
this number as spam?
but we also get
We also
feedback
get people saying how often does this happen.
we also
We
look
also
at
look at
incoming
incoming
calls
calls.
so we
So
have
we have
calling
calling
you
you
500 users
500 users
within
within
a
a
minute
minute.
and we
And
know
then
that
the
it's
signs from this system,
likely a
it's like
spam
a
call.
spam call.
A
A
new
new
phone
phone
number
number
that
that they
they
just
just created
created using,
using
Tumblr or something.
so that
So
might go
that might
faster
go
than
faster than
users
users
reporting
reporting
numbers.
numbers.
So that's where
We
use
the
machine
machine
learning
learning
to
to
make sure we
make sure we
understand
understand
how
what
the number is
is
behaving in a
behaving
strange way.
in each way.
And then there's a bunch of small
Small
mechanisms that
mechanisms,
I described, but
but
it's
it's
learning
learning.
user.
Gracias.
Hi.
Hey,
My question is that what was the investment you required to start up? I mean, both the money and the mental state when you were starting to color.
what was
So we need to do that.
My question is that what was the investment you required to start up Truecaller?
okay.
Uh,
So
then
we bought
we
the
bought the
servers
servers
ourselves.
ourselves.
We had one
We had
server
one
and
server and
it
it
cost
cost
us
us like,
I don't know,
I don't know,
$2,000.
$1,000 or something.
today you can do
You can
people
do people
online, but
but
the
the
cost
cost
of
of
starting
starting
the
the
company
company
is
is basically
zero.
zero, I would say.
We
I mean,
needed
we
a
needed
demo to test the application with both
application, and we both had phones.
and
We
we
out so you can prove yourself,
you don't need that
you
much
need that much
capital.
time.
What you need to
What you need
show
to
is
show
that you
is
have
that
the
you have the
confidence to become something
confidence
big.
to become something big.
And
And
you know,
that's like the current chiefs of the company today.
I mean, you could
I mean,
probably
you could
start Truecaller
call
with a few
a
hundred
few
dollars.
$100.
Then of course
Of
it's
course,
not
it's
that much more.
that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean,
Hi sir, can you hear me?
Yep.
Sir, we have a question on Twitter. Akshay is asking, what was the biggest challenge in your journey?
Mm. Um, that's a good one. We had a lot of challenges
challenges.
in our journey. I think the biggest challenge,
Challenge
which
which
I
I
think
think
is something we've been good
we've
at,
been good at is to
is
keep
to keep
the
our focus
focus
on
on
what
what
is
is
important.
important.
Today,
Today,
the best
the
is
best future.
because if you lose
Because if you lose
focus,
focus,
you lose
you lose
execution and
execution.
sales.
Sales.
And
That's
that's
lost.
keep focus
Focus.
on what is important to us every single
Every
day.
single day.
Are we
Are
working
we
on the
working on
right
the right
things?
things?
If not,
If not,
we get laid off and do
we
things
do
again
the
and plan again.
plan again.
So I would say
I would say
that's
that's the biggest challenge.
Sir, thank you.
Yes, sir.
hi.
Can you hear me? Just now you said that Reliance Jio has been launched and because of that your ranking has gone down. So how do you plan to come to one of the topmost rankings again?
Sorry, could
So
you try
we
to
try
repeat that?
to
I didn't get it.
You said that because of the launch of Reliance Jio, your ranking has gone down. So how do you plan to come back to one of the topmost rankings again?
Hmm. It's a good question. I think we still
we
have a
still have a
strong
strong
growth in the and it's
and
just a
it's just
matter
a
of
matter of time before those apps start to
uh,
drop down. But we're still growing essentially ranking
apps is
apps
based
is based
on
on
how many
how many
people
people
have
that
your
your
app
app
installed.
installed.
So if a lot of
So a
people
lot
are
of people
installing
install
your
that
app,
install your app
you will
and
grow in
in
ranking.
ranking.
And in our
And in
case,
our case, I mean,
around
it's around
66, 67%.
67.
In the end,
Even though it's more
Truecaller,
confident
Truecaller
to
is the
cover
one
it, so
that's
that's
actively
actively
using
using
it.
it. So
Unless they
let's
get
say that
66%
66%
of
of
those
smartphone
smartphone
users
users moving
moving
over
over
to
to
Geo,
Geo, then we should be fine.
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So my question is, what is one philosophy you followed throughout your journey? Like I'm sure you must have faced many challenges, but what is one thing you've always decided to stay true to?
Never give up.
Very good one.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, we have seen that. Sir, we have seen that Truecaller is growing so rapidly. So, what are the key factors behind this growth?
Key factors is,
Is,
as I
as I
mentioned
mentioned
before,
before, I think it's
only
only
massive
very product,
letting
letting
your
your
users
users
in the right
the right
consequences.
them.
I think infrastructure has to be good enough
For
for you
example,
that
you
people
that
will
people
say,
are like,
damn, I
I
remember them
remember them
to
to
big phone
big
companies like
companies like
this,
this,
in the
in the
future,
future.
they're good at
They're
us
good
in
at
the
us in
future.
the future.
If you can apply the
The
same
same
thing for
thing for
everything
everything
else,
else, and I think
it will just grow
it
by
will just go
itself.
by itself.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Do you think that is your security perfect?
Sorry.
Do you think that is your security perfect?
Sorry.
I can't explain.
Do you think that is your security system is perfect?
It's really
It was
hard.
really hard. I couldn't hear him.
So he's asking, do you think your security system is protected? I mean, how protected is it?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I mean,
It's all about
it's all about having the best people.
and making sure
I'm
that
sure
you have
that
the
we have
best
the best kind of systems.
So because if you don't have the
Have
best
the best security, I would say yes.
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome.
Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions. So we shall conclude the lecture now.
Thank you very much
Very
for
much for being here.
I hope it was
It
helpful.
was helpful.
All right.